everybody. Welcome to a prelude session for what's going to be a Rogue Trader campaign called A Lord of the Stars. This is going to be with two of our four players, a total of four players, being Raven, Tetnak, Bo, and North from other videos. Tonight is going to be Raven and Tetnak, with each of their respective characters. If you want to introduce your characters, starting with Raven, go ahead this time.
Alright, playing Achilleus Thorn. He is our rogue trader. And I guess we'll find out more about him as we go.
Alright, and Tet?
I am Aeneas. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name currently. He is essentially the navigator, and he is a navigator of a renegade house, which you probably will find out what house that is later. Needless to say, he is extremely loyal to the rogue trader captain, as they are related in some manner, which we probably haven't found out exactly yet.
Mm-hmm. All right. Alright, I just want to confirm for the Renegade stuff, you did take the additional plus 10 for... Yeah, I see it here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's factored in. No problem. Alright. Okay, without further ado, we will begin our prelude. Let's show everybody a handout. The Thorn family celebrates 2 millennia of glorious service to the Golden Throne. Lord Trader Aeneas Thorn, the proud patriarch during this event, deciding to throw a wondrous event on his ship. Though it is a celebration, those within the Thorn know it is an attempt to earn some clout in the Coronis expanse to help the family's ailing fortunes. The Rogue Trader house remains rich beyond the wildest dreams of the common pleb, but the money is ever so slightly trickling away. Many cite Lord Trader Aeneas's failing health and setbacks in terms of dying heirs, but others note the lack of prospects in sectors they had previously had a stranglehold over economically. The Coronis expanse certainly offers a great deal of opportunities, legal or otherwise, and the many powdered faces here may be stepping stones to prosperity. Will it be profit and wealth for old decrepit Aeneas, or perhaps one of his fledgling heirs? And so this is a board, one of your flagship type, more or less this is sort of a trade ship that constantly goes back and forth, but because it was in the area, sort of requisitioned it for a little get-together in the Coronis expanse while it's docked, Port Wander. As you look around, you'll probably see some, there are some faces here you might recognize. Achilleus here and there. Your father, of course, sits sort of at the head of the procession here at a main table that's in this large dining area where everybody's at, flanked by 2 guards. There are, of course, several different nobles, many different nobles, in fact, all scattered about having their own conversations. You would also recognize your brother, Archimedes, with his little group of men that are quite loyal to him. And you have your own little procession of guards. If you're curious about any state of affairs, you're welcome to ask or RP with each other as you wish.
Geez, cousin, have you seen so many stuffed shirts in your life?
And Aeneas looks around quite uncomfortably, his headscarf secured around his forehead to show basically that he is safe to be around currently, and essentially shakes his head. Not used to this kind of party. And he's kind of at a loss for words. He's not much of a speaker.
So who are some of the more prominent characters that Achilleus might recognize?
Sure. So there are several nobles from major houses in the sector. Your father essentially invited them to just raise some clout with them, as the plan is to extend the family's prospects into this sector. They'd played it safe for the most part in years past. Your family had, just getting into for sure deals and just making a good run of those sort of things. But now with so many, rogue traders on the rise, upstarts, they've been cutting in on sectors that were long established in your family, kind of spread a bit too thin, and now the Coronis Expanse is one of those new sort of uncharted territories things, and Andronius wants to make a bold move while he's still head of the family into these places. So a lot of these nobles here you see are Coronis Expanse nobles, people that you're not super familiar with. The occasional, you might recognize some generals here and there that had PDFs and things like that are for planets that your father was speaking about going to for appraising the worth of it, but really not a whole lot of people you recognize other than people within, obviously your circle here, father, and then your brother and his bodyguard.
Okay. Well, Achilleus will go chat up some of the Coronis Expanse nobles, and he just sort of switches gears. You see it change across his face from very at ease talking to his cousin, and just literally as he turns around, the smile plays across his face, and oh, Lord such and such, it's wonderful to see you.
Yes, Lord Conroy, and I believe you are Lord Andronius Thorn's youngest, is that right?
Yes, my lord, Achilleus. He makes a big show of shaking hands with the man and summoning a waiter over to bring a fresh drink.
Ah, you have my thanks.
Ah, of course, my lord.
All the while, Aeneas is just standing behind him, kind of just staring blankly ahead.
And Achilleus sort of circulates and same thing, kind of glad hands the lords, makes a show of getting them new drinks and all that sort of thing that they like so much.
And you find some, you figure out the names of some people in here. You meet some captains and ship captains and some nobles and things like that here and there. So you sort of ingratiate yourself.
Yeah, okay. He would go out of his way a little further even with ship captains, any high-ranking Imperial guardsmen who might be in attendance.
Right, and so what sort of, is that just trying to, leave a good impression with them, essentially, so that, if you need to in the future, more or less?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, if he runs into one of these guys in a business deal or something, he wants them to, oh, that was that very civilized young man.
All right, so why don't you, seems like a decent time for a first check. Why don't you see how well you ingratiate yourself with some of these captain-y types? Roll a charm, I think, would be appropriate if that's what's available. I think that charm is one of the skills for...
Yeah, if you look in the macros, that's all it is. I mean, you can do that off the
Really?
sheet, yeah. I was looking at it the other day.
That's not good.
Let's
Let me see here.
Figure out how to do it off the sheet.
No, yeah, and that's even if you click on your token and do it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
on
mine does the same thing. That's the only thing that's like written in the
What the fuck?
look at our attribute under skill test, for instance. Just something didn't get copied over, I think.
Huh.
So now, what did you do that rolled that?
Well, so I clicked on your token, and then the top on the bar, I clicked on skill test, and then it selected charm, and it went through for me. Huh.
See, if I click skill test, I don't even get the option to select
Yeah,
charm. It just does that.
Yeah. My guess is you're pointing to a macro called skill test somewhere. Is that correct? I think we need to have access to the macro.
Right, because I don't show any macros.
Let me see what I can
So
do.
go in the macro and put all players.
Okay.
Macro. And then we should be able to do it, I think.
Let me take a look here. And that's for all of them, it does that? Oh, for God's sakes. Alright. Damn, I had to do it for all these fucking shit. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that along here. Try it now.
Okay. Yeah, that. And we wanted charm.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. 4 degrees of success. 5 even, almost.
Almost.
Oh yeah, so you definitely learn some names and make some friends here. So I'll mark down some names here for you, for people to reach out to, and then I'll give you this handout here. That's gonna be some captains, and I'll expand on it later for you, so you know exactly who they represent and what they're.
And Aeneas would kind of nudge the road trader Achilleus, and don't forget to ask about the star charts and nav charts if we can get any. It would help if we're going to explore the Coronis Expanse.
And so Achilleus would definitely work that into his conversation with ship captain types.
Mm-hmm. All right, for that being, we'll go forward. That we'll look at that in future here for so looking for star charts and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna get you that list of captains. There might be some people you can contact in the future there, and I'll expand on it. I'll give it to you right now. It's just gonna have names, but I'll expand on exactly what they're in charge of and what their real exact positions are. So I'll give that to you, Achilleus, and then that'll be updated later. So yeah, you're going around, you know, schmoozing, just sort of hanging out with people. One of the guards of House Thorn, and they are in fact dressed like this. Your father is a very opulent man when it comes to his security. He approaches you and, my Lord Thorn, and he sort of bows and waits for a response.
And Achilleus looks at him. Yes.
Your father requests your presence at the main table.
Ah, of course. Achilleus makes the pleasantries with whoever he happened to be chatting with at the moment. Will make his way over to see dear old dad.
Mm-hmm. And when you go over there, you see, of course, your brother and his hired hand is also there. And Your father's sitting there drinking, just sort of speaking with him, just looks a bit bored, and they see you come in. Ah, there's my boy, Achilleus! And he gets up and takes a big drink from his goblet and goes over to give you a hug. Probably a bit embarrassing looking, but that's Dad.
And Achilles bears it gracefully. He's used to the old goat.
My boy, I see you're making friends. That's good. That's good. I saw. That's why this family needs you. They need you as the head, and he's making a very big show of talking you up in front of your brother. And even though you're the younger brother, it's kind of been a very tense situation recently with you and Archimedes.
And Achilles will smile at Dad and, well, I've learned from the best, haven't I?
Indeed. I only wish I could have imparted my teachings to all my children. But truly, you, my young, and as you know, this is going on, Archimedes is obviously looking very upset and just sort of distressed, but trying to bear it gracefully. You, my son, you're the heir this family needs. You will bring us into this bold new era of expansion, out of our previous old habits. And we've become too complacent. You will be the one who raises the Thorn family to greatness. You and Aeneas. And he's gesturing over towards Aeneas. Truly, the best decision I ever made was allowing his family into this house. And the best decision I ever made was, well, your mother. It resulted in you. And he's yucking up. He's been drinking for quite some time. So,
Achilles, when he looks at Dad, is all smile, but when he looks away, his expression's a little pained that Dad's making such a spectacle. And particularly if he makes eye contact with Archimedes, he almost gives a shrug, like, what can you do?
He's shooting you daggers, though. He's always been kind of upset with you. Because even though he's the oldest, he's very serious, Archimedes is. So he's been kind of put on the back burner because he's not been thought of as a very personable individual, and that's just not. Your father says it's bad for business. So you've been getting a lot of favor, but one of the crew that the Thorn guard is next to him is going to, my lord, what? You brought him over for a purpose, my lord. Oh, yes. My son, being that you're the most personable of the house, I have an issue that I would like you to try to resolve.
Of course, Father.
I have a certain guest here that I may have caused to begrudge me in the past. I was hoping perhaps you could try to mend some fences with Lord Aeneas Icaria. He's a Chartist captain who he sort of scratches his head. There may have been some things that I did in my youth that upset him. Maybe I invited him here to sort of smooth things over, perhaps
Aeneas.
turn over a new leaf, but he's been noticeably absent from here. I know he's on board. I think the last I heard he was speaking with our engineers about something, but I was hoping maybe you could engage the man on your old father's behalf and sort out any old hard feelings.
Of course, Father.
Good. Away with you now. I have more to drink and eat.
Achilles kind of chuckles at that. Gives a sort of not a bow really, but the nod of the head to the old man. looks at his brother and kind of quickly scurries on away.
All right, and I'm assuming Aeneas goes with.
Yeah, Aeneas is just following along. When Achilleus leaves, he does bow to Lord Thorn because that is his lord, but he follows his captain.
And your little retinue of guard come with you, of course, being as you're very important. Okay. I'll show you a new thing here. Lord Aeneas is a Chartist captain, a powerful position in the Imperium. He is also an exceedingly violent man, owing to the influence he wields through his valuable foodstuffs aboard the Starlight Kitchen, which is the name of his ship. It's a very large... So Chartist ships are incredibly large vessels that travel in real space across the Imperium. And they are probably some of the biggest ships in the Imperium that exist. They basically they make scheduled deliveries to certain planets within the Imperium's influence, and their voyages can take hundreds of years, if not thousands.
Yeah.
So just to give you a sense of how important these individuals are, they're almost as powerful, if not more powerful in certain respects than rogue traders are, because of the influence they have. Because planets literally depend on them to bring resources, or they'll die out. But relationships have been sour, and violence has been ever present between your house and his charter. Perhaps some sort of accord can be made with this man to staunch the flow of blood? So, you sort of go through some grav lifts and different hallways to get down here. Oh shit, sure, yeah, I'll give Zypher a Linko. Give me a moment here.
It's just a bunch of fat Baron Harkonnens. That's what Rogue Trader always reminds me of, is Dune.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I'm sure it's had some influences from that, because it is Game of Thrones and Dune in space, with extreme copious levels of violence. All right, so let me just make sure I get some shit set here. Okay. So as you come down in the engine room, you sort of see your engineers working around, and you see some of your, head engineers speaking with Aeneas, and he's just sort of taking it in. He's got a drink. He's got a drink in his hand and a plate in the other. He's sort of sitting one of the chairs that is down here that's been provided for him. It does not look like it belongs down here. It is in fact a very regal-looking chair for an engine room, but he is sitting in it. He is flanked by a couple of very intense-looking men. That stand with the bearing of a ship captain as well, as you enter the room with your retinue.
On our way here, Achilleus will swing through the galley and grab a bottle of wine.
Okay. Good call. All right. So how do you approach? He's sort of wrapped up in conversation with some engineers right now.
All right. Achilleus will sort of slowly approach and see if he can glean the nature of the conversation.
So as you're coming toward it, it's pretty much what you hear is just, discussion about some, how the engines are aboard the ship, what propulsions, things like that, how warp works. He hasn't had a whole lot of experience with warp, is what you're gathering as you're coming up. He's just sort of asking questions about the warp and things like that, how you navigate and whatnot. And they're your engineers are sort of tiptoeing around a lot of stuff, but just give him just enough for him to be satisfied with. And then he sees you approach, and the other two guys who are next to him just sort of like stiffen up and look a bit ready, but not quite combat prepared, but they look prepared for you. And he just sort of looks at you, he sort of crosses his legs, and he's sitting there drinking from his goblet. Ah, I believe you are Achilleus? Is that right?
Indeed, Captain. Can I perhaps freshen your goblet?
Captain? And he looks at you sort of cross.
Oh,
I am a lord.
Oh, well, then Achilleus would have
Thorn.
addressed him as Lord then.
He, sort of smirks it off. Oh, I suppose you can, but let one of my men test it first. You know how it is.
Of course.
One of the other guys holds the goblet to test it. You sort of see him stand there for a moment. He runs a contraption through it first, and then he seems satisfied. It takes a drink, waits a couple minutes, and then nods towards Lord Ronius. And very well. And then he holds the goblet out for you to fill it.
Ronius fills the goblet and then hands the bottle to the functionary, the guardsman, whatever he is.
Yeah. Takes it and holds it in one hand. What can I do for you, young Thorn?
I believe, my lord, the question is, what can I do for you?
Aeneas.
I see you have some interest in the engines. Perhaps you'd like to see some more of the vessel?
Oh, perhaps. Right now I'm content just to sit here and hear the soft hum. I do so enjoy engines. The engine room is quite a peaceful place. It's a nice reprieve from the more violent and eccentric parts of a ship, like the party upstairs. Ugh. A bunch of enemies playing footsie with each other disgusts me.
And Achilleus sort of makes a show of sighing and almost visibly relaxing. And yes, I couldn't agree more, my lord. Quite the strain to hold the wolves at bay. He gives a charming, if somewhat lopsided smile.
Indeed. Truly you believe that, eh? Well, you're not down here without purpose, young Thorn. I know you wouldn't spend a moment. I've heard your reputation. You're quite the shaker and mover, as they say in the younger circles. You wouldn't come down here to visit an old Chartist captain and his two flunkies, would you? You're here for a purpose. And they sort of, both the guys look a bit upset about being called flunkies, but they certainly don't voice it.
Achilleus again gives his sort of lopsided smile. Well, right you are. I know that over the years there has been much hostility between your charter and my family. And I don't believe either of us have shown a bit of profit from it. I would like very much to see if there was some way we could put all of that behind us.
Well, not much tangible profit, no, but it truly does my psyche wonders to see your father squirm every time I strike a key part of his little trading expeditions. It is always... it makes my heart flutter a bit when I see the old man angry. Truly, it is nice to see him suffer.
Aeneas frowns deeply.
Yeah, Achilleus even... His mask cracks a little bit. He sort of furrows his brow. Then it passes. And I don't believe, my lord, I've ever heard the nature of the feud.
Oh, well, I thought your old coot of a father would be happy to tell you such a story. It's one of his most proud moments, my understanding. But very well, I'll give you the short version. Well, firstly, there was the matter of the gambling incident that took place. You see, your father and I happened to be in the same port at one time, and we went to a very high-class establishment, had a few drinks, and did some gambling. Your father, the age he was at that time, we were both, of course, young men, not much older than you, he was very up and up about securing a fortune as quickly as possible, even a small fortune. Well, we were in a high-stakes game, and your father happened to win that. But he cheated. He cheated me out of a great deal of money at the time. I was not yet in charge of my ship. Actually, my succession was in question for a time after that, simply because of that action. Because they doubted my judgment. I was a bit drunk, but your father was a cheat. So there's the first part of our feud. Second part of our feud. There was a contract that was available for us. This was much later, after the tempers had sort of been brought to a bubbling point, but not quite overflowing. Trade contract. Over by Achilleus Thorn. It's fairly close to Terra, not too terribly far. We could have hit it. This was when I was the head of the house, of course. I still am head of the charter. We could have hit that on our route, no problem. It would have been quite a profit for us, but your father undercut me horrifically. And he was able to do it because he would acquire the goods that were necessary there illegally. Illegally? How do you illegally acquire foodstuffs? It's beyond my comprehension. But yes, he denied me a great and useful contract as well. And that has always rubbed me the wrong way. And your father continues to rub me the wrong way. We have many, many years of cuts and jabs, contracts, agents. Why, I believe I might have tried to kill your brother once or twice, to be completely honest. But then I realized he was more of a detriment to your house than a boon. So what difference did it make, really? And I say all this knowing, of course, that you or your family will never be able to prove it. So, Achilleus, what exactly do you intend to do that could help this be less of an issue for me to deal with your family? I'm quite surprised I was invited here at all. In fact, I thought you were all coming here to kill me. You and this man with his third eye looking at Aeneas quite clearly.
Aeneas is my cousin. He is my most valued compatriot and advisor. I wouldn't think of
removing my headscarf.
Now, cousin.
He doesn't seem to be much of an advisor. He hasn't said much since we've been here.
You
What
haven't
is it like
given
being a navigator?
It is more horrible and wonderful than you could ever imagine. Looking into the warp, and he kind of gives a kind of like a shitty grin. I assume you wouldn't know that, being on a whale of a ship that can't warp.
Indeed, I have never quite experienced the pleasures of the warp. I understand that it's always fraught with such peril. One can only imagine why one would not want to be involved with such a journey. And all this, coming from someone such as you who is so close to darkness at all times. Truly, it must be terrifying to live your life.
We do what we must. The Emperor protects.
Yes, certainly he does. All of his servants.
Rogue traders, they are the ones that suffer if the warp comes. Their ships destroyed, but they have courage. Not some slow, careening vessel, slowly and slothfully moving across the stars, I would be bored to tears and kill myself if I had to endure such a trip.
And you can see him, he's sort of like half smirking, and you see the hand holding the plate is white knuckled, but he is not showing anything on his face quite visibly. I see why he doesn't advise you much.
The briefest of smiles plays at Achilleus' mouth. He sighs. "Oh, my lord, I certainly don't doubt that my father..." He searches for the words for a moment. "That my father, engaged in aggressive business practices. But I honestly, sir, have never heard of the old man referred to as a cheat. I have to wonder, are you certain?"
As certain as this cup of wine will be empty in short moments. Yes, of course I know. He was a cheat. It was quite clear to me that he had shifted the deck and taken the ace. He had a card sleeve. I know he did. There was no way you could have four of a kind. It's impossible. The odds are astronomically against such an action. 4 aces? Are you kidding me? He takes a drink from his wine. No, I'm certain of it. Irregardless, the matter of the contract remains the most pressing concern for me. I make back the money he stole from me that many years ago, hand over fist, in hours' time, if that, minutes even. I'm making money right now, sitting here drinking wine and eating cheese. It doesn't matter to me, that part doesn't. It's the principle of it. And it's the aggressive business practices that he is so famous for, your father. I'm curious to see what you will do when you are made head of house.
Well, my lord, I shall do everything in my power to show a tidy profit. And perhaps, when that comes to be, instead of us fighting one another, there might be some way we could perhaps help one another.
Interesting. I had thought to continue my feud after your father's death, and just continue to annoy his heirs even after he has long passed from this plane. But I must admit there is a certain intriguing aspect. You're a lot more interesting than your brother is. So, I'll cede you this. Not a matter of if, but when your father passes away in the near future, not suggesting I'll be a part of it, when your father passes away in the near future, seek me out, or seek out my contacts. I will have some here in Port Wander, the Icaria trading firm, the Chartist branch that we hold here on this miserable little place. You can certainly get into contact, and if there's anything that we need, we may consider your assistance.
Achilleus gives a nod. It is well, my lord. And do know that it was on the old man's request that I have come to speak to you. I believe he genuinely wishes to extend the olive branch.
He has an olive branch extended with a dagger at his back and a bag empty at his feet waiting to be filled with gelt. I'm no fool. You've done your part, boy. There's not going to be any violence here for the next few days, at least. I'll strike at him in a place he least expects, and he'll never even know it was me. No bother to you. But, no, I sincerely doubt that my feud will ever end with your father. Until he dies.
As you will, my lord. And Achilleus turns and makes his way back out the way they came in. And then as soon as they're out of earshot, he asks Aeneas if he thinks we should let them leave alive.
You threatened your father openly. And he frowns. I do not know what the repercussions of killing them would be, but it is a grave insult.
I've seen his kind plenty of times before, Aeneas. Bluster and wind. I don't doubt for a moment that he wishes the old man ill.
He also admitted to attempting to kill your brother. Perhaps we just tell your brother and he will kill him for us.
Now that, cousin, is a brilliant idea.
I don't think Archimedes would be so pleased to hear of that news.
Indeed. And they'll start making, or Achilles will start making his way back to the deck with the party.
All right.
And he kind of chuckles. The old fool doesn't know what a great advisor you are, cousin.
When it comes to killing fat men on fat ships, you will have no better.
Alright, so you're on your way back, of course, not going too far, but you're getting back towards the party to get to the grav lift. And I will provide a new sheet, handout. The dealing with Lord Aeneas is done, for better or worse. As you traverse the halls, your brother Archimedes appears before you in the hallways. Surely he only comes to congratulate you on your appointment as heir of the house, and that has been something that's been set in stone for quite some time, as you are the declared heir.
Look at this sexy dynamic lighting.
Achilles knows that Archimedes hasn't been thrilled with him of late, if ever. And so, I mean, he's not drawing weapons or anything of that nature, but he is on his guard.
And so you see, Aeneas' sheet.
Yeah, he can't see anything because he's not a player.
Oh,
so just give him access to my sheet.
He's gonna start rolling shit and fucking your whole day up.
Sure.
No, I can.
I might kill us in the prelude if this comes to blows. So, I mean.
It'd be pretty amazing. There you are. There you are, Zypher. You should be able to see now, at least what Aeneas can see. Alright, so yeah, you kind of come down this ramp here. No problem, buddy. You kind of come down this ramp here, and you see Archimedes, and you see what you can see as far as people around, and he's sort of standing there, and he's got his hands behind his back, just sort of crossed, standing very straight and looking at you as you come down. Brother,
I've news.
Truly. What news do you have?
That old fool in the engine room. He's admitted to attempts on your life. He's threatened Father.
And?
And we must put him out an airlock.
I don't care about that old bastard. Or the old man.
Aeneas would kind of step up, feeling a little protective of his captain, and kind of puts himself in between Archimedes and Achilleus, and it looks over. And, then what are you doing here, cousin? Meetings in dark hallways?
You don't have the right to call me cousin, degenerate. I'm speaking to my brother, not you. Now, brother, you and I have some business to have settled.
Well, brother, first, Aeneas is kin. You will treat him as such. And what is your business?
My business is not to listen to you tell me how to do things anymore. I am the eldest in this house. I am the one with the best mind for business. I am not gallivanting around, prancing, dancing with ladies and fools, trying to look important. Not like some.
Tell me, brother, if you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
I am rich. We're all rich. But you're all fools. And the old man's a fool to trust you with this house. You'll destroy it.
Oh? And I suppose you know someone who could do better.
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm quite aware of one who can do better, who does better. Who do you think secures many of these contracts while you're out there looking pretty in the galaxy?
Well, you might make a wonderful seneschal.
He looks at you, just sort of cut you through a look. I am above such miserable work. I have a right to the same fortune as you do. A greater one even. I am the eldest.
Aeneas looks at Achilles and, did you know your brother was born before you? He's mentioned it twice now.
Achilles almost laughs. Yes, I do believe I had heard that.
A navigator does not need a tongue to navigate a ship. A sharp one does you no good, Aeneas.
Aeneas, your tone is threatening the heir of this house. And he pulls off his headscarf. Do not make me defend our heir.
Threatening, you say? No. Not yet, but in just a moment I will be. And, you see him sort of step back a bit.
Well, and when he says that, Achilles motions to the guards to assume a defensive posture.
Alright, and so your guards will move up a bit here. And, we're all gonna roll for initiative because it's gonna kick off. So the initiatives should work.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, baby. I did it right.
We are pretty slow. Both have the same agility, huh?
Wait a minute. Why is that not doing it? Is that doing it? Is they all roll? It's 1d10, right? Let's see. Yeah, it
I've
is.
Yeah, we did.
Wow.
We just
3D
three.
dice turned on.
What the fuck? That's
this-
pretty amazing.
Yeah, you have some extra curly brackets in there, but they're not doing anything.
That's fine. As long as the damn thing works. Crew are going before. That's rough. Alright, let's get it ordered. Wow, people rolled like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
All the three named people rolled 2s.
Well, one guy rolled pretty well that was named.
No, okay,
That's
Butch.
bad.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
See,
what he is.
Yeah, so you see Butch step out from behind a crate up here, and he's gonna take an aim shot at one of your crew. And his gun jams.
Oh, it did.
So he stands, you hear click and click. Oh, shit. And he steps behind this. You know, he took an aim shot, he can't. So he's just standing looking stupid. So you see one of your brother's lackeys come stand behind this in the corner here, and he's gonna take a shot at crewman as well, and that is definitely it's a short range shot, so it's gonna be, I think, plus 20 for short. I think so. No, plus 10 for short. Wow, we're doing good, boys. See, he's some
Good to me.
Laz fires around and hits the wall behind you guys. Starts hitting off the walls and scorching them. Now all your crew are gonna go. He's gonna aim and shoot at the soldier that shot at him. It's gonna be plus 20. So he hits. Oh my god. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
12 minus 3, 9. Also, none of the guards and everything have armor, really. It's all regal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Alas, the giant feather did not protect him.
see a last shot go out and smash this guy who just shot at your crewman. Just rips right through him. He ducks behind. Other one's gonna shoot at Butch. Same thing, aim shot, misses. Last one's gonna come around the side here and shoot at him. Short range plus 10. Misses, ever so slightly. You hear a door open at the far end of the room. If I can actually delete the damn... There you go. And the guy who was hiding in that room sort of peeks out, stays behind cover, and shoots out at Aeneas.
Mm-hmm.
And misses.
Mm-hmm.
Archimedes. You see Archimedes for just a brief moment, but he runs over next to Butch behind this crate. Achilleus.
Okay, Achilleus. We'll jump over here. And he will take a shot at Butch with his dueling pistol. Or sorry,
Are you able to move that far in a half move? Yeah, you gotta make sure you gotta check your half moves and stuff, because if you move your full move, you wouldn't be able to do both because the shooting's a half action.
Gotcha. Someone from here, my cousin. Alright, well, then I will jump into cover.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I guess that's it.
What is so navigator's powers are full actions, I'm assuming? Is that correct?
My understanding of it, I'd have to check and see. I think it says specifically what it would be, but
Yeah, I was looking at Lidl's site. It does not specifically say.
really,
Mm-hmm. It just says makes an opposed willpower test.
we'll call it a half, because I would imagine you could move and then show them the eye. I know you can move and do psyker powers, if I remember correctly, some of them.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to do that right now anyway, but so I can only move 3 as a... I need to get behind some cover here. What's my run? 18. Do I need to move in a straight line to run or no?
No. You'd only need to move on a straight line for a charge, not a run.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna move behind this column over here, running. My run is 18, so that should be good.
Okay. All right, Butch is gonna spend. I believe it's you have to do a reload, if I remember correctly, in order to clear your gun if it jams. So he's gonna be doing this shit for a while. So let me see if there's something better he can do, because that seems pretty shit for him. Yeah, he's just gonna never did trust fucking hand cannons, throw his gun on the ground, and then draw his sword, and that'll be his action.
And I'm assuming we have our guns already drawn, or?
Your crew did.
Mm-hmm.
If neither one of you declared it, I would say no.
Good.
Alright, so I'll make sure to see if he has quick draw or not. He's not. Okay. So this guy's beat up bad. And just for future reference for cover. So cover provides armor points, not make you more difficult to hit. So just a heads up on that. Which I probably should have applied for this guy, but it's no big deal. So these boxes and everything, they're not very good cover. They're only going to give you 4 extra armor points though if you get hit while you're behind them. So this guy is going to try to return fire on the crewman that shot him. Aimed shot, short range, and fuck it. Crew fires back, same thing. Oh, 4. Not quite, almost. These other 2 crewmen are firing at Butch. Oh man.
It's reliable though, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't jam, he just missed. But that one hits, it's an aim shot. So Butch, where's that at? 54 is the body, pretty sure. Yep. So body 3. Butch does not seem phased whatsoever about just being shot. He just kind of looks at the crewman with disdain. This last guy is going to shift sides here and shoot at this crewman. I don't believe that is short range. We'll see. No, it wouldn't be for 30. Where I will try his first one. No, he would have missed. Alright, so it is Archimedes now. He peeks around the corner of this box and attempts to shoot the crewman that's to Achilleus' right. Misses. It's all pretty good right now, Achilles.
It's very, very 40k. A lot of missing.
Yeah. I think this was Dark Heresy.
It's the same difference. It just hurts a lot more when you get hit.
Mm-hmm. You may proceed, my lord. Ooh.
Yeah, I guess it would help if I unmuted myself. He will step around here and take a shot at Butch.
Let me go ahead and make sure I got the Belasco, because it's allowed for you.
In Rogue Trader, let me ask you a question. Rate of fire, how does that work? Is it plus, do I get a plus to my attack with a semi-automatic burst?
So I think it actually does give you a plus to your attacks. Let me take a look. Semi-auto burst is a plus 10 to BS and an additional hit for every 2 degrees of success up to the max on your weapon. So it is a plus 10, but it is a full action as well.
Okay, I get draws. Okay.
And at this point, Achilleus is using the regular las pistol, since the Belasco is just a single shot.
Okay. Go ahead.
There you go.
That would hit. Is that on Butch?
Yep.
Okay. Butch, I think is gonna. Let's see if Butch has dodge. I think he does. He does. So Butch is gonna try to dodge. He sees you come around the corner, and he's gonna try to shuck and jive on you. If it rolls it. Guess it didn't. Okay, I'll try it again.
You're trying it from the pull down any skill thing, or
Yeah.
does he have access to?
There we go. Oh my god. See, you think this is gonna strike true. This comes right out of the las pistol, starts flying towards him, and it's just, he just sort of leans just the slightest bit to the left, and it hits the wall behind him, and he sort of works a cigar around in his mouth to the other side, and looks like he's looking right at you, like he's staring into your soul.
So Aeneas is going to draw his hell pistol and shoot at Butch.
I'm pretty sure that's short range.
11 is what I'm
11?
at.
Okay. And I think it's half. It's half or under half your range. It might be. I don't know. Hell pistol's sort of short range, but we'll see.
It's 30.
30? Yeah, you're good to go. Oh fuck. So he's already died. So
Yep.
he doesn't get to do it again. 12. Oof.
Plus pin 7. So
Yeah, so his armor is just fucking nothing anyway.
Yeah, okay.
5-0. Yeah, so you hit him. That's body. I think 0-5 to 50. Yeah. So it shoots him right. You blast him in the body, and he feels this one. You can tell. It rips a huge hole through the side of his abdomen. He's like, "Ah, shit!" And now he's looking at you, and you see it's anger but fear too. He's afraid after taking that one. But in spite of how badly he was just brutalized, let's see if he can make it. Ever so slightly. He is going to charge you with his sword.
Okay.
Full bore. So plus 10. Ooh.
I don't think I have dodge. I guess we'll find out. Nah.
All right. So he sprints forward, and you're amazed at how quick this guy can move. Probably with being this blood pouring out of him, like the wound's a little bit cauterized because it helps, but it's still a massive wound inside. And he sprints at you and just slices right across your chest. So it's, I know it doesn't say it there but he does have mono on that, so it is pen 2. So
Okay.
I think your soak's gonna be your
2.
I think 5 after toughness.
Oh yeah. Okay, this doesn't add them, so 4 plus. Okay, so I take 9 damage then.
Alright.
This sheet is all over the place. Where the hell is?
If you click on your token, it should do it.
Okay.
So it's just the red should be your wounds, I think. And then it will reflect on the sheet as well.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I stagger under that and kind of like.
Always wanted to kill you, freak. Soldier. Did I skip Soldier 1? I did.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're gonna continue this cripple fight between these guys. Yep. About what I expected. Soldier 2, or no, the Thorn crew goes. Damn it! How did I skip 2 people? I need to fix this mouse. It's gonna aim shot back at the guy who just shot at him. So it's plus 20. Yep. Aim shot at Archimedes from this guy. Yep. And
does that jam on a 96?
I think it might. That guy's almost had 2 jams now. And that one does not either, but it misses. And then the last one on the soldier that's shooting from that room. Miss. Now it's the guy in the room. Peers around the corner, and he's gonna shoot at this guy who's in the open down here. Man, it's going good. Archimedes. He's gonna line up another shot on this crewman from behind cover. With an aim. I don't think it's short range. That might hit, though, if it is. Yeah. Barely. Barely short range. So it's gonna hit, and that's gonna hurt him. 12. Body. Oh yeah. You hear a loud boom from across the room, and you see this crewman next to you, Achilleus, just get ripped through tears through this shitty wannabe armor that he has on, rips through the back of him, exit wounds massive. He's and he's sort of staggers back under the blow. Now it's your turn.
Now, how does Rogue Trader work with me shooting through a friendly?
So you'd be firing into a melee, which is a minus 20 penalty, I think. So let me see. So I think you get a bonus for short range. However, if you're firing at a melee, then it's a minus 20, so you'd be shooting at a minus 10. And if you roll really bad, you could hit an ally.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot him, right? So I don't know. Because I can disengage, but I can't move very far.
I think a disengage may be a full action as well.
It is, yeah. You move only your half move, so I wouldn't move very far when I did it.
With pistols, however, you can fire while in a melee without penalty. You just don't
Yeah.
get bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, is it possible to hold an action? Can I wait for Aeneas to get out of the way and shoot?
You can do that if you want.
All right, then that is what I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can really move, but I'm going to just do so Aeneas is like staggered under it, and he kind of flips the hell pistol to full auto and just like points straight at Butch and just compresses the trigger right at his chest. That's plus 20, you said, for burst. Yeah.
For semi-auto burst, yes,
Semi.
plus 10.
Plus 10. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, here just goes nothing, I guess. Nice. That's 2 degrees.
Damage.
That's 2 degrees of
Yeah.
success too.
Roll another damage thing as well. Yeah.
Just roll it again.
Okay, so 22 damage. So yes, he
7.
will try to dodge. Oh no! Describe it.
Yeah. So Aeneas is like kind of almost falling back, and he just points the gun straight at his chest and just like pulls. Well, 11's the head, isn't it?
11 is actually an arm, believe it or
Is
not.
it?
As weird as that is, arm and a body.
So basically, he's just kind of falling to the side and shoots him. His arm goes from right to left. So it's just like the 2 bolts. One hits him in the chest and one hits him in the shoulder, and it basically puts a hole through Butch all the way, right, on both sides. And as Butch is kind of just like flagging, kind of stumbling, he just kind of like punches the pistol forward into his chest and knocks him on the ground.
And he stands there and he looks at the holes in him and he's just like, it's a look of just shock. He's like, he opens his mouth and the cigar falls out and then he just gets punched over.
Yeah, and then Aeneas looks at him and he's like, "You'll never kill me."
His mouth just goes, he's just open his mouth and closed and he just stops moving. He's just dead.
Okay, so when Achilleus sees Butch go down, then he'll go ahead and take a shot over here at dear old brother.
Sure. Go for it. Ooh, goes wide.
Yeah.
Flies over the box. Take Butch out of turn order since he's dead. Here we go again.
What's the range on micro beads?
I mean, if you're in a room, you definitely got it. But who are you trying to contact?
I would be trying to contact more guards from our ship or Dad.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, I would do that on my turn, but
yeah, we'll do that when we get to your turn here. All right, aim shot from the bottom. No. The crew. Yeah, it's gonna return fire. No. Archimedes is gonna shoot it. This guy's gonna shoot at Archimedes. That would hit. Where is it? In the head.
Ooh.
And so you see a las pistol shot from this crewman that was just blasted in the chest fly over and actually graze Archimedes' face as he peeks out from behind the box. And then the last one is on the soldier. No. Returning fire on the guy that shot at him, the soldier up top. No. Archimedes, he's going to try to finish off the crewman that he shot at previously. And it does. So you see, after that crewman, sort of scorches the side of Archimedes' face with a las pistol, you hear another shot ring out, another booming shot ring out from where Archimedes is, and this guy's head just explodes in gore. and his body doesn't follow suit immediately after. His body's kind of frozen from it, then slumps forward with no head. Achilleus.
Alright, Achilleus is again gonna shoot at dear old brother. I missed. Come on.
Remember, you can do aims as well. Provide a half aim gives you a +10. If you do a full aim, it's a +20 for the next turn. So some things to think about there. It is rough this sometimes with shooting.
Mm-hmm. So I guess as a half action, I kind of like touch my micro bead and try to contact anyone of authority on the ship that I can get into.
Okay.
Potentially
no
the Lord Thorn, or his. I don't know if I would have his number, if you will, but I don't know if his guy's digits.
Well, for Lord Thorn, you don't get any real responses, and probably because he doesn't like to wear his very often. But
his arch militant, I would, yeah.
You do get. You are able to bring up one of the guard sergeants that's in the area nearby.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, Lord Aeneas, what can we do for you?
We're under attack. Archimedes is trying to kill Achilleus. Come to the lower levels near the engine room.
God, Emperor, be good. We'll be there as soon as we can. Roll a d5.
A D5, okay.
They'll be there in 4 turns.
And that was a half action, I'm guessing?
Yep. That was.
Whoops. Can I shoot this guy through this door?
Yeah, it's open. He's been peeking out of it, shooting at you guys.
Yeah. Aeneas just kind of like, after he does that, like tries to track for somebody to shoot and sees his image and just gives it a whirl. And misses.
It flies past the door and scorches it. Alright, here we go for the bottom. Nope. These guys are pretty awesome. Alright, this crewman is actually going to advance on him and try to get around the edge. Why the hell did Butch move? Get out of here, buddy.
Zombie.
Oh shit.
He's back! I don't think he can move there in a full. That's point blank though, so fair enough. Yeah, this crewman's gonna try to get around on this other guy now and try to end this deadlock, and does. So you guys hear this shot ring out and the guy starts screaming, and some other shots maybe ring out, and you see this crewman looking very triumphant. This other guy's gonna aim and shoot at the soldier up top. Wow, these guys are rolling pretty fucking fat on damage. 3 in the arm.
Why do you think Achilles brought these guys?
Yeah. There's his boys.
This actually takes off a good chunk of that guy's shoulder in the doorway. And he tries to duck back behind, sort of covers up. He's gonna shoot back at the dude that just tore off much of his shoulder, aim shot, and does. 11. And the leg, ooh. And you see a lad's pistol shot pierce through, I believe that's the right leg. Yes, one of the legs. This crewman next to you. It's looking a bit grim. Archimedes is not taking kindly to being shot at by you. He sort of peeks over and, I'm gonna give you a gift, brother. Just stand still so I can deliver it to you properly. And he aims and shoots at you. Ooh. That's at Achilleus. If you have dodge or something.
Alright.
If you have it.
How many times he's shot? He's got to be close to having to reload.
Mm-hmm. He's got 2 shots left. So you do not. You can use a fate point to reroll that if you wish.
Yeah, seems advisable.
Go ahead and take a fate point off of your total count right now. Of course, between sessions it will replenish and everything, but so you minus a current fate point, not your threshold, and then you can reroll that dodge.
Yeah, gotta figure out where they are again.
Let me take a look. Fate points
here we go.
are.
Got it.
This sheet is busy, man.
Yeah. Totally, the road trader sheet's kind of rough, but gets the job done, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That
hit you in the body, if I remember right. For
63.
Yep, that body. So it's got 2 pen. So you would soak. So subtract 2 from your armor and then add toughness in your armor. I think you have 6 armor and then 2 toughness.
6 armor. Toughness is a 30, so 3.
Oh, you have 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the crate was what?
The crate is 2. So actually, you might soak this. 6 plus 2 minus it. Yeah, you would soak that actually in the body. So this bullet just kind of hits you. It gets lodged, but you don't feel pain.
I might even leave that in the armor.
Your turn.
Alright. Let's aim and return the favor.
Alright, plus... see the range. Plus 10 is out of short range for you, so it's at plus 10 from your aim. That's pretty good. It's in the body. He's behind a crate. I think he soaks it back with that damage, unfortunately. Yeah. So you see some scorching on his chest piece that he's wearing. But he's becoming very grim. He's not very chatty. Aeneas?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot this guy in the doorway again.
Alright, go for it.
With semi-auto. He's in short range, right? So.
Yep, should be.
So I get a plus 20 total. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I would have aimed too. Oh no, I was full auto, so I didn't.
Yep. Yeah, this was semis. It counts as full action.
Yeah.
So you shoot all around him, but don't quite hit him. This guy's dead. So your crew now. Crewman gonna move up, and he's actually gonna shoot Archimedes from short range here. The baller.
These guys are doing work.
Yeah,
bonus for that guy.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not great, but you got 30s and everything. You got a decent shot sometimes. Trying to see if Archimedes has dodge. I don't know that he does. And he does. Okay, yeah, he'll try it. That would be pretty painful if it hit. And he does not succeed. So 10, resolved against body. So your brother's you see him kind of peeking out, looking at you, and then you see a las pistol shot come from the side, and it hits him pretty good in the lower body, the lower part of his torso. It's like, ah! He stuffs up against you. You see one of your crewmen peeking out, taking shots at him.
And Achilleus yells a bonus for whoever brings down that. And he can't use son of a bitch since they're brothers, but
They're half brothers.
Oh god. So the other crewman's still alive. He'll shoot at this soldier up top. Oh, that'll do him. So this guy peeks out again. A lad's pistol shot just goes straight through his arm and severs it. Like, it's crazy how it happens. Severs straight. Severs it, instantly cauterizes it. Weapon drops to the ground. And he just falls over. And he's not maybe dead, but he is done with this fight for certain.
That was the dude in the door, right? The guy I can't hit.
Mm-hmm. And then Archimedes is going to try to return the favor on the guy that just shot him. He's actually going to move to... He's running out of real estate here, but he's going to move to here. You think this looks pretty safe. And then he's going to try to shoot back without aiming. Nicks that guy that shot him. And, oh, he's in trouble now. Achilleus.
Yeah, I don't have quick draw. Damn. He would draw the Belasco and aim, but he can't. So.
Well, you could draw an aim. That would be 2 half actions, right?
Yep. Could draw an aim and then shoot next turn.
Yeah. You can aim at the end of your turn and then shoot the beginning of your next turn. You can do that, I'm pretty sure.
Guess he could do that. That would be thematic. Okay, so he pulls the fancy yet functional looking dueling pistol, levels it at his brother. Do I want him to surrender? Not really.
This will be round 2 or round 3 since I called for help when it gets to my turn. I'm not sure which one.
I think round 2.
I think so, yeah.
Right, go ahead, Aeneas.
Yep, you're outnumbered 4-1, give up! And semi-auto, he's not messing around.
Give him the business.
Miss.
Ever so slight would have been brutal as fuck. That would have actually been a righteous fury. Oh my god. Jeez. The crew. Aim shot. Nope, not this time. Other guy. Just out of short, but still will shoot. Both miss. Archimedes. And he's responding to Aeneas. I'm risking everything on this. You're all nothing to me. I deserve this house. And he's going to shoot at Aeneas, actually. Oh no, he goes to shoot at you. I've been counting. He goes to shoot at you and you hear a click. Damn it! And he drops the gun and pulls out his sword.
God, not again.
Pick the gun back up. Go ahead, Achilles.
He might be out of range for a charge, thankfully.
Oh, he definitely is.
Yeah, well, Achilleus responds badly to the threat at Aeneas, who's already been grievously wounded in this farce. So he will go ahead and take the shot. Now he's using the Belasco, which has a 45-meter range.
Short
that
range.
Puts us at short.
He's aimed once.
He aimed last turn. So
plus 20.
You could literally aim again and then shoot.
You could aim and then be plus 30. Yeah. Okay.
Then that is what we're doing.
All right, plus 30.
Oh, gotta get off.
Oh, baby.
Oh!
Fucking face. Oh.
Pin 4, 8 damage.
Oh, and he has accurate. Oh my god. Oh my god.
10.
I forgot it was accurate. It's brutal. Oh, it's basic weapon. Okay. Never mind. That's a pistol. Oh man.
Basic
You're still
weapon
gaining-
benefiting from this aim action attack gains extra 10d damage
Yeah,
every
it's
2
a pistol weapon, unfortunately. But if it was a basic, you would fucking. But even so, I didn't realize you had Aeneas. You had. That was actually with plus 40, I think. Plus 50 even, because short range and then 2 aims. Yeah. So don't forget that when you get. It's double the aim. So that would have been with a. There's almost no way you could have failed that. That's brutal as fuck. Okay. So you shoot him in the face. Now we're gonna do critical stuff for him because this is gonna fuck him up. We're gonna do critical stuff. Now it's not crazy yet, but it is gonna hurt him. So let's find injury. Critical damage. It's gonna get critical. -1. He's gonna get critical 1 to the head with energy, so.
Oh, that only has 1 bullet in it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a dueling pistol. It's amazing. Best gun in the game. Energy head is. Oh god. A grazing blow to the head frazzles the target's senses, imposing a -10 penalty to all tests except toughness for 1 round. So you blast him with this laser, and it just scorches the side of his face bad. It just lights him. And he's in rough shape.
I will, Aeneas just simply continues to try to shoot him. Semi-auto, he's holding down the trigger.
Good.
God, I keep missing by almost the exact same. I keep rolling like
fate
60.
points.
Yeah, I'll use one. Why not?
Let me roll it. Does the crew kill steal? Is the question. No, not that guy. This one was a +10. Nope. Archimedes. Can he even get to anybody? He can get to that guy. On a charge. He's gonna charge this guy now. He's not gonna get his bonus for charging because of the penalty. But still hits him. I'll not go down without a fight. Then he runs and sprints and just cuts this guy up. Achilleus.
I think on my next turn the guards come, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm not sure. Yeah, he can half move there, and he has a shot.
Don't put yourself in undue danger, my lord. Oh man. He's gonna fucking kill him now.
Oh, not with that damage.
Yeah.
Body. Now it soaks, unfortunately. Hit him in the side and it just scorches on his armor. Amazing that was a hit, because that's at -20 too. That's pretty good. Alright, and Aeneas, as you had said, the other guards have arrived. Let me bring them out. Bring them out.
This is perfect. This fight is what convinces Achilleus to get a plasma pistol.
So a number of guards come running into this room from many different directions. As they filter past Achilles. Stay back, my lord. We'll handle this. And they all sort of have their guns raised on him, and he has his sword ready to try to finish off this crewman in front of him, and just sort of looks around and sees the situation that he's in, and just throws his sword on the ground.
Yeah. Take him alive. My lord, what do you wish to do with this traitor?
And as much as Achilleus wants to tell him to just go ahead and put him out the airlock, father is still lord of the family. It's for him to decide. So, I don't know if this thing has a brig, but if it does, secure him in the brig, and then we'll go get Aeneas some medical attention and go talk to Dad.
Yeah, as they're taking, well, go ahead. But
go ahead, you're good.
Yeah, to Archimedes, Aeneas says, "I will requisition that you are put to death by the eye, and you will see true terror."
He spits on the ground. You should have killed me now. You'll regret this day, brother. You too, Aeneas. Miserable warp fiend. You'll regret this day. And he's just screaming as he's getting dragged away by crewmen to the brig.
Yeah, Aeneas is like touching his chest now. That's blood soaked through his mesh.
Achilleus rushes to Aeneas' side. "You men, quickly! We must get him to the medicus."
"I'll be all right, my lord. Let's take this to your father first." He waves off the guards.
And they drag out this guy. This guy hadn't died, so you see him just dragging an armless guy out as well. Go ahead, Raven. What were you gonna say?
Achilleus is dubious about this, but anyway, he sort of puts himself under Aeneas' arm and helps him along if he insists on going.
Yeah, Aeneas kind of like, "My lord, I'm fine, but let your father see the damage done here. Let him see with his own eyes my injuries." And he looks at Achilles and, "Perhaps your own, my lord," knowing that he's not hurt.
Achilles looks at the bullet stuck in his armor and just sort of dismisses it. I'm fine.
But perhaps you should act like you're not so fine. Make your lord father mad enough to strike the hammer and not give in to sentiment.
And again, the crooked smile plays across Achilles' face. Aye, cousin. Aye. And he suddenly looks a little less robust. He deflates himself a bit. He motions for these guards to form up around them. And away we go.
All right. Okay. Alright, let's show you this last handout here. Your hand was force. When blood goes against blood, one must defend themselves, even at the cost of taking another life. Or perhaps it was wise foresight that led you to do what you've done. Either way, surely Father will understand that what was done was necessary. And so, of course, the guards they escort you up to where Lord Andronius is, and he wasn't at the party when you went there. You were actually escorted to his personal quarters. You see the current steward of the house, sort of a seneschal, not quite as robust, but capable enough, and a couple crewmen around your father as he lays in his bed, looking rather ill.
Achilles, upon seeing that, well, Well, he'll motion Aeneas to the comfy-looking chair here, and then he will rush to his father's side. Father.
Oh, my boy. He sort of leans up, and he tries to lean up but can't. It's like, I think old age is finally doing me in, boy.
And Achilleus will motion for the steward to get father something to drink, and father, shall we summon the medics?
Of course, the steward gets it, and he's ready with the water. No wine right now. Damn it, steward, bring me wine. Screw the water. A man on his deathbed should not be treated with such disrespect. No, my son, I think this old set of bones is finally going to meet the God Emperor. Be he willing to bear such an indignity. So strange to feel so fit all day, and then only hours ago, here I lay, musing.
Achilleus looks pained. Surely, father, you'll rally.
Oh, never mind me, boy. How did your business below go?
Perhaps well, father. I think maybe the hostilities will close before. He looks very pained as he says, perhaps before too much longer.
Be straight with me, boy. What did Aeneas say?
And so Achilleus will recount Aeneas's tale of the business deal. And then he'll furrow his brow. And the man had the most outlandish thing to say, father. Accused you of cheating at cards, he did.
Icaria. Old Aeneas could never take losing a fair game. He's old, and he's held that against me for years. What an old fool. Well, maybe there's a chance. Regardless, I'm sure you'll do fine with that old coot. The old bastard's been hounding me for years. What about your other bit of business?
And which business would that be, father?
He looks at you knowingly. You know what business I mean, boy. Does Archimedes still live?
Aye, for the time.
Oh, I was hoping you'd kill him when I sent him down there. And he leans up in his bed.
Aeneas frowns in the background.
Well, and Achilleus gives Aeneas a look like, well, I guess you're going to get your opportunity. Looks back at the old man, and you sent him, father?
Let me tell you something, Achilleus. I've always had high hopes for you. The day you were born, I saw the stars in the sky align in the light of the God Emperor, and I knew this child of mine, he would be the one to take us to greater heights, greater than ever before. I knew I just had to keep you alive and keep you tested. I'm dying now, not because I'm old. That's only part of it. I've been dying for a long time. We're all dying since the day we were born. But I'm dying now because your dumb brother was all too eager to feed me drinks and food that has been laced with quite dangerous toxins. But I indulged him. I knew of this days in advance, and I indulged him regardless. I wanted your brother to feel as though he had accomplished something in his meager, pathetic life that he has lived in our house. But the last thing, the one triumph I wanted him to have, even after securing my death, was to test you. I know you have the personality, son, but I never knew if you had the courage or the will to pull through combat because, well, this is not a safe universe. And you know as well as I could teach you that it is dangerous dealings in the Great Black Sea. So I sent Archimedes down. I spurred him to action. I told him the only way he would ever control this house was if he showed me he could kill his own brother. And yet here you are, as I expected. And he sort of smiles and takes a drink from the goblet that the steward provides and just looks at you for a moment.
And Achilleus is just sort of stunned at that. He knew the old man was duplicitous, but did not expect such a thing from him. Father, well, you can rest easy, Father. The house is in good hands.
Indeed it is. Nephew, and he looks at Aeneas, you don't look too pleased. You look a bit grave as well. Must have taken a few good licks downstairs.
Just one from a dog, my lord. I am always grave. And he steps forward and kind of looks down at the dying old man.
Indeed. Old Butch it must have been. My poor deluded Archimedes and his toys.
He is no more.
Good. He was a whipped dog and a brute. I hope his master follows suit, if you have any sense. Aeneas, you are almost as important as my son is. I know you don't have a very high position here in standing, but truthfully you are one of the most important pieces of our future. Bringing your family into our fold, making them as part of our own, I couldn't have made a better decision. I couldn't have had a better nephew. And my son could not have a better friend in the days going forward, as they will be dark. I trust you will guide him.
I will guide him as I can. With my being, with my soul. I will die. I will destroy worlds. I will destroy races if it means to save House Thorn and Achilleus' reign. Nothing shall stand in our way.
It's a very malevolent smile that he has as he hears you go on and on about destroying, doing what is necessary. Then I've made a good choice. So, boy, I feel the lifeblood slipping from me. Starting to get tired. Eyelids are very heavy. If you have anything you wish to say to me before I impart upon you my final gift, you may wish to do so.
I wish to thank you, Father, for without your teaching, there's no way I could face what lies ahead. But with it, Aeneas and I, well, we shall put House Thorn back to its former glory and beyond. And Aeneas will raise a glass, look at the old man. To you, sir, and to what you have accomplished. He'll take a drink.
To me, and to what I've accomplished. And he'll raise a goblet back in mock celebrations. Before I sit alongside the Emperor and count Gelt while he slays daemons, Copernicus, and he sort of motions over, and you see, you thought it had been a functional type thing, like something that your father wore just for, special occasions to show off wealth and prosperity. But you see, the Steward Schultz, Copernicus, he brings this sword over, and it is an extremely well-made blade. It bears your house crest, and it is made to perfection, and it has sort of like indentations of thorns and jagged edges and things like that. And he motions for Copernicus to give it to you. I've had this blade in our family for over 60 years. Made it myself. Back when I was even younger than you. My father, your grandfather, had me smith it. He was a very martial type. I've never been much of a fighter, but it did look nice, and I made sure to keep it in great shape for my boy. It's yours now. Use it well.
And Achilleus is looking at the blade almost reverently, nods his head slowly. I shall, Father. Indeed I shall.
Good lad. I'm off to he's sort of tapers off and his eyes close and he's a couple more deep breaths, but ultimately stops breathing.
And Achilleus will go feel for a pulse, see if the old man's breathing.
And there's none. He is quite dead.
That visibly shakes Achilleus for a moment. Not exactly how he expected this party to end.
Yeah. Aeneas looks at the steward and nods, and he kind of like says, "Gather the house that's here. There should be a toast to the Lord. Oaths of fealty."
Of course. I shall make the arrangements. And he nods to you and he bows to Lord Achilleus and he heads to start gathering the house, those that are available.
Aeneas would say to Achilleus, and he just kind of says, "To Lord Achilleus Thorn, may the Thorn Dynasty prevail for another 40,000 millennia. To you, my lord."
Achilleus sort of visibly shakes off the somber moment of his father's passing and looks at Aeneas, raises his glass to Thorn, takes a drink. "Now come, cousin, we've business." We'll go to wherever we're assembling the house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And any big speech you want to give before we end to your house folk and everything like that? You've got a fair bit here, of course, not everybody, because you need some people to run the auxiliary trade deals and whatnot. But you have a decent bit of people here, as well as some important nobles. So anything you want to say to them?
Well, we will drink to the Lord who has passed. We will drink to the house and to the future. Those of you here, you will all play a part in that future. We are going to bring Thorn back to the greatness that it once knew and beyond. He looks around at the assembled nobles, and those of you who are not part of the house, I hope that our business dealings in the future will be profitable for all. I wish to continue the relationship that my father has had with you, and hope that it will prove to be fruitful and continue to grow. And with that, I must see to my cousin and some other unfinished business. Everyone, please enjoy the party. And we will go finish my brother and get Aeneas patched up.
Yeah, so as we're leaving, Aeneas asks Achilleus, "I have an idea about your brother, my lord."
Indeed. What
Said,
would that be?
"Perhaps we should grant him mercy if he bends the knee. Give him a choice. Bend the knee, and he receives a swift death. Otherwise, I shall show him the warp in all its horror. I can think of nothing so worse than either option."
And Achilles again finds that he thinks, contrary to what Ronius thought, that Achilles is a fine counselor. I mean, that Aeneas is a fine counselor. Indeed, cousin. Let us make it so.
And we'll even do this. We'll do it the execution live. Why not? So it's gonna be. We're gonna reuse the engine. We'll say the brig's next to it, but we will whip that out. So you come down the brig. Oh, you're good. This is fun. Come down to the brig, and you see Archimedes very beat up. He hasn't been treated at all, obviously, because what he wrought against the house today. He's just sort of sitting in there. He's got the one guy that did survive in there with him as well, very badly beat up, and his arm's a patchwork job, but they're in the same cell together. This guy's still passed out, actually, for the most part. Shock really got to him, but Archimedes is up and walking around, pacing. He looks at you as you come in, sort of behind like a glass fixture, more or less, with some...
Well, brother, Achilleus almost spits the word. So,
Yes.
'Twas you behind father's illness.
That's right. Old fool is too busy with his drink and cake. He had it coming.
Well, I guess I should be thankful. Makes what I have to do now easy.
Is that so?
Do realize, of course, that the old man put you up to this. He knew.
Not so much of a fool now, was he? You are the fool, Archimedes.
He just looks a bit dumb. You're lying. You're just trying to trick me. Make me feel low in my lowest point. Falling to my little brother. That's enough. You're just speaking words. False truths.
I'm afraid not, brother. I'm afraid not. Nevertheless, you've killed father. You've tried to kill me. You've tried to kill Aeneas. I cannot, I will not allow this. Aeneas, I believe your idea was correct. You have a choice, brother. If you will bend a knee, then we can end this quickly. Perhaps painlessly. If not, then Aeneas shall have his wish.
My eye has been closed for too long. I hope you are stubborn, Archimedes. I have never liked you. There, Ghost. What if you cut out?
Sorry, I was having some lag issues.
Oh,
My bad.
okay.
So yeah, you're more or less offering him swift death if he bends the knee.
Swift death, and I basically told him that I hoped he didn't take that option because I didn't like him.
Then I suppose you'll get your wish, warp fiend. And he spits at the ground. Go ahead, do your worst. I'll never stop, even in death. I promise you. This house should be mine.
Death? You won't know death. You will not be so lucky. My lord, please remove everyone from this area. Yourself included.
You men.
And they all follow, and the guy inside this one's like, wait, no, not that. Wait.
Yeah.
I'll do anything. He's got one arm. He's being, please. Oh, God, Emperor, save me. I was paid. I won't do it again. He's just sitting there screaming. Oh, God, he's just running around. But go on then. I wanted to make you roll for it. Oh, you can roll for it, but I mean, he's not. Yeah.
Yeah, so Aeneas just kind of walks up to the glass and, are you ready, cousin? For the purest thing you have ever seen.
Do your worst, Aeneas.
and his eye, like, very slowly begins to open, releasing this bluish-green light that sort of travels outward and essentially through the glass, right? And into Archimedes' eyes. And it also kind of like a tendril goes off towards the other dude as well, that's sitting in there. And they begin to see what Aeneas sees. Horrible visions of, if you want me to describe it, I can, but I mean, yeah, well, whatever.
Sure, whatever you want to go with.
Basically, if he's, I'll let you do it because I don't really know what that would be exactly.
So as Archimedes peers into the warp that Aeneas shows through his navigator's eye, he sees the planes of the warp in its purest forms, horrors that he's never seen before, he's never even comprehended. Daemons playing, perhaps jump roping with people's entrails, daemonettes traveling, certain bloodletters and horrific demons locked in eternal combat, souls lost, scattered to the wind. Those tortured few that are within the warp, the planes of it, being brutalized, killed again and again for sport, for fun, for entertainment. And he sees it in all its horror, its spectacle, and glory. And the sight of it is so overwhelming to a mind that cannot comprehend such terror that you see the man behind him, his willpower is much less. He's a much weaker man. And upon seeing your eye, even the smallest hints of your eye, as the tendril touches him, his head actually explodes. Like his brain explodes from the inside of his skull and shatters it everywhere along the inside of the brig. But Archimedes, he's very resilient. You might even be a bit surprised now. It takes quite a bit of effort, but you see slowly blood starts to eke out of his head and eyes, as his skin starts to melt, his eyeballs start to protrude from his skull. You see a sick, twisted smile coming on his face even, as his head more or less melts over what feels like an eternity, and the body crumples before you on the other side of the glass.
Yeah, and when that's done, he shuts his eye and looks down, because it is taxing. And then he gets on his microbead and he basically calls out, and you don't have to respond, but Ivo, I have a new servant for you. The captain's personal servitor. And he clicks off and turns around and kind of walks away.
And there we go. And that will...
He will serve regardless.
We will call that a prelude.
Very nice.